on fixing the planet. You know what I mean? To helping, fixing the reefs, fixing the fixing the ozone layer. Doing things that are helping the planet, not destroying the planet. You know what I mean? Like right now we have places that we destroy the planet, and not places, yeah, where we completely destroy the planet. And that's not good for anybody. And people are constantly dying for absolutely nothing. From hunger. So that's what that's what I talk about when it comes to a resource-based economy. The Venus Project. And here's some of the things that are going to be in it. Energy. We have renewable energy. They talk about tidal power energy, wind power, solar power. We can harness those technologies and create abundant electricity. We don't have to worry about anything anymore when it comes to power. And they use the last one is geothermal, which is just heat from the ground, and they will be able to use that, and we can use it for years and years and years and years, and to power the planet. So we don't need to burn any of the fossil fuels, and probably any of the fossil fuels that we have burnt already has been killing the planet from the inside out, probably having its effect on global warming as well, not just the pollution. So that's for energy. So we have the energy. Food. You don't have to, the farmers on the fields, it's long gone now. We can do it hydroponically, and we can do it inside buildings. We can grow food even faster. There's a movie that I saw that you guys recommended called Our Technical Reality. I think I'll do a short review on that film, but that showed how they can make vegetables super fast just by the simple technologies. Unbelievable. Transportation, like I said, you just need a mean skip from point A to point B. It has nothing to do with having a car. It has to do with designing a good transportation system. However, if you do want a car, you have to think about how you build that car. You know what I mean? If two people get into a car accident, there's a car accident. Who's to blame? You got the one guy that hit the guy, or the other guy. Who's to blame? But the real blame is, why was the cars designed to hit each other in the first place? So that's like thinking outside the box, thinking in a third, fourth dimension type thing. So we need transportation. We have technology now that we can create a train that can go 4,000 miles an hour. I mean, you can travel the world instantaneously. You can do it in a day probably, or not travel everything, but travel, visit the entire world in a day, in a week maybe. Who knows? The entire world. It's just absolutely crazy. Work, like I was saying, people can work, and they can do whatever they want. This is my theory on it, on the work. Work is, this is very important to tell people. People think we're just going to be lazy. Now, I believe that, I do, but I only think you can be lazy to a certain extent. You're only going to be lazy if you want to be. If the Venus Project was dropped in your lap like tomorrow, and you decide to be lazy, I think you could only do it for like a couple months, like max or whatever. You're going to want to do something. I mean, you can build whatever you want. You can try. You can try to learn whatever you want. However, if you wanted to do more productive projects or whatever, I think that would be something much more motivating. For you to want to contribute to helping the planet for your own gain, just for your own gain, your own personal gain. So I believe that you can only be lazy to a certain extent. You're going to eventually want to learn something, and if everything's access to you for free, or if teachers want to teach it to you for free, like come on, if you want to be a teacher, if you want to do anything you want to do, you should think about it right now. If there's anything that you really wanted to do that has nothing to do with the monetary system and businesses like that, anything exciting, what would it be? Honestly, it's you can respond to me if you want, but it's just absolutely crazy. You can really do whatever you want, and in turn, the better our planet is, the better our planet is going to be for the future. So that's what I say on work. Automation. Everything is being automated. The reason why people are employed is because it hasn't been automated yet, and that is something that you should really, that sentence you should really learn and tell people that, because that is the truth. If you have a town that is poor and they need to employ people, they do that on purpose. They slow technology down on purpose so that they can hire all those people. But if you want to see the chain reaction, if you hire a whole bunch of people to do a physical job, they're going to end up having, they can break bones, it's dangerous, you know what I mean? They're going to have the wear and tear on the body. What kind of business do you have after that? You have doctors that help, medicine, the surgeries, if you need it. And you also have like chiropractors, those are other businesses that are fueled by money and other things, in order to help people so they can continue doing those hard work, labor jobs. You know what I mean? You see the chain reaction? Like, that is something that you have to understand. Everything is interconnected. Everything, you have someone that creates computer viruses. That way you can create an antivirus program and sell it. And sell that antivirus program to prevent viruses on your computer. You would do that on purpose, in order to create a new market. So you create a new business, So you see what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. So everything that we do is because it hasn't been automated yet. And so that's another thing. So our next point here is incentive. Incentive is a huge thing for the Venus Project. Is people with the biggest inventions that we have, in the past. That is your argument. That is your only argument. You have, Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. Who knows? Maybe someone invented it before him. And they didn't do it for money. They did it out of inventing. Trying to be creative. Albert Einstein, one of the greatest minds of our time, and he's created so many things. He's a brilliant mind. These are people that have excelled. They didn't do it for money. So people think that the incentive is just for money, right? Because it is, because we're fueled by it and we need it to survive. But that is not true. We will really, be more creative without it. And my next point is education. Education. People need to be educated how to treat people. People need to be educated how to think. I hate to say the word condition, but it's not really conditioning. You have to get people to realize what is normal. What is normal, what is true, and what is false. False institutions that don't help anything. Like politics and government, and even religion. Religion is a false institution. It doesn't really do anything for people. It just gives people, the people that need it, it gives something to people, but it does nothing for our planet. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean by that. So, people need to be educated, and plus the education, there's so much more to learn, and there's so much more to do, and so much more to discover. And once we're done with this planet, we're just going to take off and go explore other planets anyways. It's just, our humanity is just constantly emergent, and it's just, constantly perpetuate. So that's something you have to understand. And the last thing about the resource, or my last point, the resource-based economy, is civilization. Civilization is something that we haven't achieved yet. According to Jacques Fresco, we haven't achieved it. Because of the monetary system, because we're corrupt, because we are cruel, because we destroy the planet, we are uncivilized. We're not civilized at all. As soon as we decide to get rid of all those false institutions that make us think that we're normal, that next day, that's going to be the first day of real civilization. He was talking about things like your kids are going to say, look back in the future and they're going to say, didn't you see that that the monetary system was corrupt, that it was always going to lead to war, that it was always going to lead to territorial disputes. They're going to know, they're going to see it so obviously, and our civilization is going to be so, our so-called civilization is going to be so, not in the history books. We're just going to be like a page. It was just a crappy time of year kind of thing, crappy existence, because we're so much better now. You know what I mean? It's so we're working together. So that's what I'm going to say on that. And I have one more point on this review as well, and it kind of goes back to the laws. And this is something that you have to understand. Whenever we do something, it's not necessarily illegal, and this is where people have to open their eyes and realize it's not illegal. To do bad things, really bad things, when everyone's innocent because they do bad things, they are innocent. The elite probably not so innocent because they're corrupted by greed or whatever. But there is a percentage of innocence.